Welcome, my friends. Sit down. Take a breath. It is late, the world is quiet, and you and I are about to have a conversation that most people are too afraid to have. It was August 17th, 1661. The chateau of Vaux-le-Vicomte. Nicolas Fouquet stood amidst 6,000 guests, the smell of roasted pheasant and expensive jasmine filling the air. He had spent 8 million francs on this single night to impress his king. He thought he was winning. He thought that by showing his wealth, his taste, and his brilliance, he would become the king's favorite man. But as the sun set over the 3-mile-long gardens, Fouquet saw the king's face. No smile. Just a cold, 22-year-old stare. Fouquet realized his mistake in that exact second. The diamonds on his own coat were brighter than the king's. The music he paid for was louder than the king asked. He had outshone the master, and the price was his entire life. 3 weeks later, he was in a cold stone dungeon where he would stay for the next 19 years until he died. He didn't lose because he was weak. He lost because he was too good. This is not a history lesson. This is not a bedtime story. This is real life. Today, we are talking about the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Why should you listen? Because whether you are a student, a worker, or a dreamer, you are living in a world of power. People pretend the world is about being nice and fair, but deep down, that's not the whole truth. You felt the sting of being passed over for a promotion. You felt the confusion when a friend betrays you. You felt the weight of being the smartest person in the room only to be hated for it. By the end of this story, you will not just understand English better. You will understand human nature. You will see the masks people wear. You will learn how to protect yourself. Because, my friends, if you don't know the rules of the game, you are not a player. You are the prize. Let's begin. Part 1. The Ego of the Master. Imagine trying to climb a ladder while the person at the top is holding a 10-pound hammer. Every time you reach for a higher rung, they feel the ladder shake. They don't want you to help them. They want to feel like they're flying alone. That is the ego of a master. Law 1 says, never outshine the master. It sounds simple, doesn't hide, but it is the most dangerous mistake you can make. We are taught to be the best. We are taught to show our talents. But in the world of power, your talent is a threat. My friend, as someone who has been fired from a boardroom with 12 leather chairs, because I tried to be the smartest person in the room, I'm telling you this to protect you. Making your boss feel insecure is the fastest way to a $0 bank account. I remember sitting there, showing my charts, proving my boss was wrong about a $50,000 investment. I thought I was helping the company. I thought I was being a team player, but I wasn't looking at my boss' eyes. I was looking at my own brilliance. 2 days later, my security badge didn't work. No explanation, just a cold email. Masters are like the sun. They want to be the only source of light. If you appear brighter than them, you are creating a shadow. And nobody likes to live in a shadow. Think about the oak tree. Imagine a 200-year-old oak tree. It doesn't scream about its strength. It doesn't try to grow faster than the sun. It just stands there, silent and deep-rooted. That is Law 1 in action. Be the tree and let the sun think it's the one doing all the work. If you want to rise, you must make those above you feel superior. Give them the credit. Ask for their advice, even if you don't need it. Let them feel like the genius, and they will lift you up because you make them look good. But if you try to show them up, if you correct their grammar in front of the team, if you finish their sentences, you are digging a hole that you will never climb out of. In a boardroom in New York, a 45-year-old executive was made to apologize for a joke he made in the elevator. He had 20 years of experience, but he forgot Law 1. He tried to be the funny one, the one everyone liked more than the CEO. Now he's clearing his desk into 2 cardboard boxes while the CEO watches in. Silence through a glass wall. Listen to me carefully. Your honesty is not a virtue in these moments. It is a 5-pound weight tied to your ankles. In the game of power, being 100 transparent is just a fancy way of saying you are easy to manipulate. Part 2. The power of silence. Let me tell you the truth. In the world of power, your words are not your tools. They are your enemies. You think you are explaining yourself, but you are actually digging your own grave. The more you speak, the less you control. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Go back in time. Rome, 491 BC. A man named Coriolanus stood before 1,000 angry citizens in the dusty forum. He was a hero. He had won 17 battles. He had scars on his chest to prove his loyalty. All he had to do was speak a few humble words, and he would have been the leader of Rome. But Coriolanus couldn't win his own tongue. "You are common curs," he shouted, his face turning 5 shades of red. He insulted their clothes. He insulted their poverty. With those 4 words, he turned a hero-esque welcome into a sentence of permanent exile. He died alone, far from the city he saved, all because he couldn't stay silent. Imagine trying to hold 50 liters of water in a bucket full of holes. That is what happens when you talk too much. Your power, your mystery, and your dignity just leak out onto the floor until there is nothing left but a dry, empty plastic shell. When you speak less, you appear more powerful. When you are silent, people get nervous. They start talking to fill the space. They reveal their secrets. They show their weaknesses. And while they are talking, you are observing. Ask yourself this: if I say this next sentence, will I gain 1 ounce of power? Or will I just lose 10 ounces of mystery? If the answer is mystery, keep your mouth shut. This is the 1-second rule of Law 4. You are not a chatterbox seeking validation. You are a vault. Inside you is a 1-ton steel door of silence. When you stop talking, people start wondering. And in that wonder, you find your true strength. Take a breath. Feel the 37 degrees of your own blood. When you choose to say less than necessary, you feel a snap of alertness in your chest. Most people think I want people to like me, but the powerful think I want people to respect me. You can buy 100 friends with a smile, but you can only earn respect with 1,000 moments of strategic silence. Every time you over-explain your mistakes, you are giving 10 free weapons to your enemies. It's like handing a loaded 9mm to someone who just told you they hate you. Stop arming the people who want to see you fail. Part 3. The Art of Total Destruction. Now, we enter a darker room. A room where the air is cold and the stakes are life or death. China, 655 AD. Empress Wu Zetian is surrounded by enemies in a palace with 10,000 rooms. She has already won. Her rivals are in prison. But she makes a decision that shocks her court. She doesn't just exile them. She doesn't just put them in a tower. She orders their hands and feet cut off and throws them into vats of wine to soak until they die. It sounds cruel. It sounds like a horror movie. But Wu Ziqian understood Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. No mercy, no second chances, no half measures. Just the smell of cold iron and the sound of 100 soldiers marching toward a final end. Wu Ziqian knew that a wounded snake is 10 times more dangerous than a dead one. If you leave a spark, the whole forest will burn again in 5 years. Most people focus on being nice to their enemies to show they are the bigger person. But the secret of power is that mercy is often just a 2-word suicide note. Let me tell you a modern story. You gave him 500. You gave him a place to sleep for 30 days. You thought you were friends. But the moment he got a job, he stopped calling. He didn't just leave, he started telling people you were controlling. He started spreading rumors at your workplace. Why? Because your kindness reminded him of his own failure. He hated you for helping him. And because you didn't crush the relationship, because you left a door open for him to come back, he is now trying to let you bleed out slowly. Maybe you've felt it. That 3 a.m. feeling in your chest when you realize you were too honest at work, and now your colleagues are whispering. You feel the cold weight of 1,000 mistakes pressing down on you because you didn't know the rules of the game. You thought being vulnerable was a good thing. But in a world of sharks, vulnerability is just a free meal sign. So now look at that one person in your life who keeps dragging you down. Stop the 50 efforts. Cut the cord, block the number, and walk away without looking back once. Your peace of mind is worth more than their comfort. I know it feels heavy. Learning that the world isn't always fair is like waking up in a 40-degree room with no blanket. But I'm here with you. We are going to learn how to build our own fire so we never have to freeze again. What feels like a cold 48-law world is actually your protection. Knowing these laws isn't about being evil. It's about not being a 100 defenseless target. It's the armor you wear so you can finally be at peace. Part 4. The Mask and the Reality. You are about to see the world through a 360-degree lens of truth. Not the world of HR handbooks and polite smiles, but the world of 48 laws where everyone is playing a game, whether they admit it or not. This is the raw, 100 unfiltered reality of human nature. Look at the 5 most successful people you know. You see their $10 million smiles. You see their perfect Instagram posts and their expensive watches. But now, after listening to this, you can see the 48 laws they used to get there. You can see the enemies they crushed and the masters they outmaneuvered. The mask is finally off. You see, most people try to change their behavior. They say, I want to be more confident. But that is surface level. Real change happens when you change your identity. You are not a servant. You are a sovereign. You are the one who actually understands how the world works. From this moment on, you don't react. You observe. You don't beg. You negotiate. Imagine a world with no secrets, no strategy, and no boundaries. It's not a utopia. a 0-degree wasteland where the loud and the foolish consume everything. Without these laws, your dreams will be nothing but ashes in a garden someone else owns. You re-sitting in your car, perhaps, or lying in bed. Your hands might be trembling on the steering wheel or clutching your phone. You want to send that "I'm sorry" text to the boss who humiliated you. You think it will fix things. You think if you just explain yourself one more time, they will understand. But deep down, you know Law 15. If you crawl back now, they will never let you stand up again. They will see your apology as a sign that you are broken. Listen, I've lost 2 jobs and 1 big investment because I didn't know when to shut up. I've been the guy crying in his car at 6 p.m. because I gave too much of myself to people who didn't take care. It hurts. It feels like a knife in the ribs. But you are learning this now at age 20 or 30 or 40, and that means your best years are still ahead of you. You're gonna be okay. The world is dangerous, and that is your greatest advantage. Because while everyone else is playing by the rules of a 5th grade playground, you are playing the 48 laws of power. You are not just surviving, you are winning. Part 5, the sovereign mindset. Let's go deeper into the law of silence. Why is it so powerful? Because humans are interpreting machines. If you say 100 words, people find 10 ways to misinterpret you. If you say 5 words, they spend all night wondering what you meant. Think about the most powerful people in history. They didn't give long, rambling speeches to justify themselves. They gave commands. They used short, punchy sentences. I came, I saw, I conquered. The buck stops here. Stay hungry, stay foolish. When you over-explain, you are showing that you are afraid. But a sovereign doesn't care if they are understood by everyone. You are afraid of being misunderstood. They only care if they are respected by those who matter. You are afraid of being disliked. My friends, English is not just about vocabulary lists. It is about the power behind the words. When you learn these laws, you are learning a new language, the language of power. You will hear it in the way a CEO speaks. You will see it in the way a politician moves. You will feel it in the way a leader enters a room. You think you are just learning English. You not. You are rebuilding your mind. You are training your brain to see the hidden patterns in every conversation. Let me tell you something nobody told you. Your niceness is often just a mask for your fear. You are nice because you want people to like you. You are nice because you are afraid of conflict. But the 48 laws of power tell you that conflict is inevitable. You cannot avoid it. You can only prepare for it. Imagine trying to run a race while carrying a huge bag of garbage. You might take a few steps, but soon you get tired. That garbage is your need for approval. It's your need to be the good guy. Drop the bag. The race is hard enough without it. Part 6. The final lesson. We are coming to the end of our talk, but the beginning of your new life. Robert Greene didn't write these laws to make people evil. He wrote them to reveal how the world actually works. If you choose to be kind, do it because you are strong enough to be kind, not because you are too weak to be anything else. Remember Nicolas Fouquet? He had the 8 million francs. He had the jasmine and the pheasant. But he didn't have the wisdom of Law 1. He thought money was power. He was wrong. Strategy is power. Self-control is power. Silence is power. So now, close this tab. Put your phone in a drawer 10 feet away. Sit in silence for 5 minutes. Practice Law 4 right now. Don T, tell your friends about this video. Don T, post a motivational quote on your story. Don T, explain your new mindset to anyone. Just use it. Watch how people react when you stop talking so much. Watch how your boss looks at you when you start giving them the credit for your ideas. Watch how your enemies fade away when you stop giving them a second chance to hurt you. You are a master of human nature now. You have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Your future self is waiting for the master you are about to become. You think you are losing time. You're not. You are gaining a life. This story will teach you how to fight when life hits you hard. How to believe when nobody believes in you. How to stand alone when the world shuts the door. And yes, this story has also improved your English. How? Because you were not just watching English. You were feeling it. You were living inside a story of power and truth. That is the secret to fluency. Not grammar books, but real stories told in easy, clear, and powerful English. Go out there. Be the oak tree. Be the vault. Be the sovereign. The world is yours, my friends. Have you tried? Take action today, not tomorrow. I will see you in the next one. Stay strong, stay silent, stay powerful.